get that receipt,
Yeah.
and have that documentation with the IRS. So if it ever happens to be a situation where the IRS comes years later and say, "Oh, we never received that payment," you can say, "Yes, you did, and
Mm-hmm.
I have the proof."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to be on top of your stuff because it's a government entity. Like, just one people make
Yeah.
mistakes,
Yeah.
right? Government entities make mistakes. It's just what it is. Not
Yeah.
every single thing, just because the IRS says that you owe something, doesn't mean that you owe it.
That you
Hello,
necessarily.
everyone.
Welcome to another episode of Financial Fraud Friday, where Kerrina and I break down tax topics, fraud topics, and we just basically give our opinions, okay? We're here every other Friday. Right, every other Friday, okay? Um, for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Nike Togba. I am the owner of Togba and Associates, a tax planning and advisory firm here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Services include bookkeeping, tax advisory, and tax planning services, along with tax preparation. If you are interested in working with us, I encourage you to visit togbandassociates.com, schedule a consultation. I'd love to speak with you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kerrina O'Connor, and I am the owner and founder of Cake with a K Financial, where we help six-figure solopreneurs resolve their IRS problems so they can run their business with confidence. Typically, that includes a tax bill that they cannot pay in full, and or back taxes where they have not filed your tax returns for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 years. And if that sounds like you, please book a link in the bio. And I'm going to go into the disclaimer real quick.
All
So,
right.
disclaimer. This is
Mhm.
not legal or tax advice. Oh, this episode is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not legal, tax, or financial advice. All information discussed comes from public court filings, news reports, and press releases. Everyone discussed is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court. While we are tax professionals, we are not yours yet, but we can be. Book the link in the bio for us. And then now, Nikkei, what is the topic for
No,
today?
okay, so today isn't necessarily a fraud time. Well, I don't know, because I got some questions. I always got questions, but this one is actually from an audit done by the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. Okay. This audit was released to the public on May 21st, 2026. Okay, and it is titled, it is an audit done. Let's see, let me give you the background information and then we can break down thoughts, okay?
Yeah.
So the Internal Revenue Service, this audit was on payments to the Internal Revenue Service, okay? So the Internal Revenue Service receives, excuse me, trillions of dollars in federal tax revenue annually via cash, paper payments, or electronic payments. As of the week ending December 26, 2025, the IRS reported that it received more than 302.6 million payments totaling over 5.4 trillion in calendar year 2025. Of the total, there were approximately 41.4 million paper checks. That includes money orders, checks, etc.,
Mhm.
and 261.2 million electronic payments. Missing or incomplete payment information, that is payments that do not include check or money orders that do not include the taxpayer's name, identification number, form type, or tax period, can impact the IRS's ability to apply payments to the correct taxpayer account. The IRS refers to these, excuse me, as unidentified payments. Okay. So this audit was done to basically to review how the IRS deals with these unidentified payments and kind of inform the public how these payments are done and then come up with a ultimate conclusion, okay, as to the audit and how the IRS is navigating these payments. What was the conclusion? IRS programs that resolve billions of dollars in unidentified taxpayer payments need to be improved and modernized. Excuse me. Now, I could have told you that. I could have told you that, right? So that ultimately is the end result. They're saying, okay, we reviewed this, we looked at these unidentified payments and how the IRS is choosing to resolve the issue or apply, figure out whose payment goes where and where to apply these issues. Not doing the best job of that. It's not what they're saying. They're just saying they need to improve and modernize. But of course,
Yeah.
of his own,
Yeah.
right? So Kerrina,
Excuse me. Yes.
thoughts? Because I've given you like minor details, but I mean, I'll tell you this. They're saying, and what happens is they put these funds, they couldn't identify where the money went, and so they're saying they put them in an ending inventory of for unidentified payments. So their ending inventory, we'll say for 2025, was $388 million.
That's a lot. That's just last year. That's just last year. And it's fiscal year 2025 at that. So it's not even including the entire 2025
Oh,
yet.
right. So,
Because I think governments end September 30th or whatever of each year. So it's like that's a lot of $388 million of money that they have that they don't know who it belongs to. So it's not on their accounts and posted, basically. Meaning that according to the IRS, you still owe that money even though you paid it with interest and being accrued. Like we got to think about that too.
I didn't even think about
So
that.
for those people, and the penalty and the interest are based on your the amount that you owe. So
Right. Yeah.
if it continues to increase,
So let's say
oh,
I bought a money order.
mhm,
I,
like $1.
I bought my money order for 25K.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I would do such. Bought a money order, 25K. I owe my taxes. I got it. I'm gonna go ahead and send this check payment in. I didn't put my social on it. And instead of my name being Nike Topa, my name is Jane Smith,
Yeah, which everybody has
right?
like a
You
very,
know, there might be
you
some
know,
more Nike Topas out there. I don't know. Oh, maybe
maybe.
there's another woman floating around. And so they can't determine there's no more identifier. They don't know which Jane Smith
Right.
it is, right? And so now they got my 25K, and they don't know
Yeah.
where to put it.
And that's real because the one Jane Smith that actually, you know what I'm saying, needs it on their account. I guess eventually it'll come up, but it really said like the IRS has one. I know like there's a lot of like old school people that they prefer checks and all of that,
Hmm.
but I would argue that it is better to make an electronic payment because you'll be able to find that easily,
Yeah.
give or take, depending on the platform, to be able to find where you made the payment, either on the irs.gov site itself in the transaction section of your payments, on EFTPS or the other many IRS platforms that the IRS like allows you to make payments through. Um, Doing that is a little bit easier than writing a check because I'm also thinking about how many years because I'm we talked about 2025, but I'm also seeing 2022 is 401 million to
Hmm.
date.
Hmm.
So how many people are keeping their checks records, their bank statements, and their checks to prove that they paid the IRS? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because the
I get
money
you.
might have come out,
Mm,
but it's not applied to their IRS
to
account.
the account.
Right. So then now the onus is on you to prove that you made the payment
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
because right now it could have been Jane Smith number, Jane Smith number one maybe owes two, and then Jane Smith number two owes as well. But Jane two is the one that made the payment. So now Jane two has to prove that they made that payment.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Hopefully that
It's
was a lot.
well, to me, this is what they're, and I get what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
But to me, the only issue, the only payment issue or type that I would see an issue with is the money order. I don't know why there would be an issue with the check, right? Okay, because
Ooh,
if
there
I
could be.
and you would be, yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised because as a taxpayer, though we know that this isn't always the case, but as an
Mm-hmm.
ideal taxpayer, if I knew I owed, I wrote a check. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for that check I'm looking, right? I'm
For it to
searching.
clear.
I know I wrote
Right.
a check. Where is
Yeah.
it? It's not, hold on, it hasn't hit yet, or it has hit, right? But see, and that's the problem. Are they taking the checks? Because you know how companies do, get a bulk payment,
Yeah.
you take them all to the bank, you deposit
Yeah.
them,
And
you
deposit.
know? What's the because they're not explaining what the process is. We don't really know do you know what the process is?
I don't know what the process is for the IRS, but I'm thinking just business wide, period, right? Um, they will deposit the check, and they're going to deposit the check, but then when it's applied to what is it, AP, accounts receivable,
Okay.
is it going to be accounts receivable?
Because
Because like it'll need to be applied to an account, and it's probably not applied to an account. It's just sitting in payables, or I'm saying payables, but it's not
because
payables.
Because that's my question. When you bulk deposit like that, right? If
Yeah,
that's the case, right? If you do it the way that you bulk deposit like a business. Oh, we got all the
yeah,
checks for today. Take them to the bank, the bulk deposit. I don't know
yeah.
what I don't internally know what their process is. That's somebody, you'd have to ask in that department, right? Can you see? I mean, because now we've got to apply them to the
The
account.
correct, right?
Or is the process before we bulk deposit, we got a payment from so and so, put it there. We got to pay, you know what I
I
mean?
don't
Or
think
is
so.
the application performed? I would think that that would be
I don't think so. I
it
think the
isn't
money's.
efficient, but
I don't think so. I think the money, all of the money is going to be deposited. All the checks are going to be deposited, and then after the fact, whoever is in their accounting team or whomever is reconciling whose account this money needs to go
goes
to
to and
and
what
clear
year?
off that account. But understand that we're dealing with millions of taxpayers. So if your name is Jane Smith and somebody else's name is Jane Smith and they don't know where to put that money, it's just going to sit in that account
Mm,
until that person will now then call, or something happens where they call and they get it resolved, and like, oh, that $25,000, it goes to Jane Smith 2 account.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's gonna be in there, because the simple fact that, because I think we had the conversation where it says that eventually it'll come off the general ledger. The simple fact it's in the general ledger, meaning that they deposited it.
I gotcha.
It's in the bank and it's on the GL. They deposited that money.
Yeah. Yeah, because you do say after 7 years from the payment entry date into the excess collection account, any unapplied payment credits will be removed from the general ledger,
Right. So
right?
they're collecting that money. It's being deposited. But I would caveat that, right? So for the people who are making a payment to the IRS and your payment is not, actually everybody. But if you're making a check or a money order, especially the money order, there are instructions with, you put your EIN if you have a business and you're paying for your business, you put the social security, your name, you got to put the year that you want to apply it to,
Yeah,
and quarter if it's a payroll situation where you put the quarter. Like, they have instructions
they
on how to
do.
make a payment for a reason,
Right. Yeah,
and
taxpayer's
it's really
name,
detailed.
identification number, the form type or tax
Yeah,
period,
it's really detailed.
So you gotta add all that information. Um,
Yes.
if you're gonna pay by check.
If you're gonna
But
pay
I
by
would
check only.
argue that it should be easy for the taxpayer to track the check if the check has been cashed because you would have a cop.
Yes.
Shouldn't you have a cop? Don't, I mean, I know most
Yeah.
banks these days,
Yes.
I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, they
You
print a
can
copy of the check in
you can
the
have it on your statement or
statement.
in the transactions.
Yeah.
A lot of the banks they'll charge to have it on your statement, but it's minimal. It's
Which,
important to have it.
well, don't
They
be.
charge, girl. Yeah,
Are
they
you
charge.
kidding?
I am not a business
Boy, I tell you, boy,
truest. I'm like, look,
folks is just nickel and
they
diming
want,
you. So
yeah.
for
So
you to,
if you want the actual copies on the check, it doesn't come standard. You have to like add it on. Yeah, a lot of the banks do it. There's nothing free in business banking. Like they charge you for everything. And then if it's a situation, because the banks will keep your records for like 7 years or whatever, and even that, I would argue that even that is still questionable. Ask me how I know because I'm doing some stuff for some clients and whatever else, and they have their bank deposits, right? Like they received bank deposits for the I'm gonna say for the last 7 years, which the bank does have, but on those deposits, it'll say um deposit not recorded or something like that. Like the amount is there, but they don't have the deposit slip. So we still don't know to this day
oh,
who is supposed to be paid. It's hard to determine that, right? So I'm saying all that to say you have to keep your records.
you got it's
That's
on
I think that's
you.
what we're getting
That's
to
that's
because
what we're
the
getting.
IRS could have your money. You could see that $25,000 come out of your account from either a money order directly where it's immediate or a check where they did the check. But if you don't see it on your account, it has not been applied. And I said, this is one of the reasons why I say for people, everyone has an IRS.gov account and they should be logging in. Maybe at least once a year. If you know you owe some money, you probably should do it a lot more often than that if you're making payments and stuff.
If you're making
Just
payments, just to
once a
see.
quarter, just check your IRS account, see what's going on. For my people who are a little old school and don't like to go and do it online, I
Yeah.
guess, then go to your local IRS uh office,
Uh,
your local IRS office, and you can get a copy of your receipt. Scan your receipts and put it
okay.
into a
Well, that's
folder.
a thought. I mean, because you more
Yeah.
old school folks are gonna be like, yeah, I
Then
want to
yeah,
go down
yeah.
to the office.
Then they can go
Okay.
ahead and they can go down to the office, they get a receipt. They
Okay.
can make the payment there and they can get a receipt and copy and save that receipt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because
then they
the onus is on you now. Because you can be like, oh, I made the payment. If you don't have documentation to make a payment, and I was just telling Nikkei this, I guess this is where I segue into it. I had one of my clients that they had it was a payroll situation. So they had like it's 941. So still a tax return, but not a regular business tax return. This is payroll tax.
mm,
And they said that they filed that tax return, but on the IRS side, they did not
oh
have
yeah.
that IRS the tax return. They said that we do not have that documentation, and we were trying to get him into like a to make payments and all of that, and they needed that document to prove it. And I could see that the document was done, and apparently it was mailed in, but because they didn't have a certified copy, there's no proof that it was mailed.
Mm,
So
yeah.
maybe it
Yeah.
was mailed, maybe it wasn't, but the IRS is not going to accept a maybe.
Yeah. You know what? And that brings me to I can't remember what I was reading. And I actually asked, I was in a CE class, and I
Mm-hmm.
asked the guy, he was talking about resolution. And I asked him if he had ever experienced, because I saw something that said there was an argument that though the certified mailing receipt
Mm-hmm.
was received by the taxpayer who mailed something off, the agent's rebuttal to response to, yeah, you mailed something off. Or the agent's response was, yeah, you mailed something off, but we don't know what you mailed.
Oh, that's
We don't
interesting.
know what was in that envelope.
That particular
And
envelope.
that was the argument that the agent was trying to use to tell the taxpayer, you didn't really make a payment. You didn't send. We don't know what was in there. So I asked the instructor, I said, so because that used to be our way of saying, I did mail
Mm,
it. I have the return receipt.
right.
I have these
The
documents.
copies and yeah.
Exactly, right? So I asked him, I said, so are they telling us now that we're down to video? Like I gotta take a video.
Like,
This
right.
is
This is the
me putting the notice
like, yeah,
inside
like
the
what?
envelope. I am walking to the post office. I am,
We got a vlog. Like,
you know what I mean? Right. Do I have to take video as proof? Because that's what I heard. That's what
interesting.
that is ultimately what I heard once I saw that. I said, if you're gonna go that underhanded, because that's underhanded to me.
That is.
That's low to
And
say,
I would,
yeah,
yeah.
you have the return receipt. Yeah, you say you mailed something to us. And yeah, we stamped it and said we got something from you, but we don't know what that was that you put in there.
Which means they don't know what it wasn't either. So like, I mean, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
good
Like that's,
one. Which
I
means
mean,
they don't know what
that's
it.
what I heard.
Oh, oh, come on, Kerrina.
They don't know what it was.
That just said that means you don't know what it was. You know what? That was quick. I like that. Quick. Yeah. And you're right. And you're right. You know, I didn't even think I
So,
like that, Kerrina. But yeah, but back to this. I mean, but they're stopping that anyway. Because what, as of March now, they're requiring you to make your payment online, right?
I
Um,
thought you could still, I thought you could still, um, do the check payments or whatever, and
uh,
then they're rolling that off though. I
I
know
think
that
they
the
are. I guess
refund thing or whatever, I know that I think they're stopping the refund thing.
they're stopping the refund. Well, I don't,
Um,
this says a March 2025 executive order mandated all payments to and from the federal government be electronic. So
oh,
maybe it's a rollout
I
of
didn't
all.
realize. Yeah, I didn't realize it was like now. Like I know they were having talks about it. Because especially like I said, there's my old school people who they gonna
They want
they
to,
gonna do a they gonna do a check. Like
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I know that people don't like making electronic payments, but I think
Mitigate
it
it.
will significantly cut down on what they are talking about here. Because what my question is,
Mm,
we're talking about millions of dollars that you
millions.
guys removed from the general ledger. You removed it and put it where? When
Where is the
after
money
you
going?
removed it from the general
That's a
ledger,
great question.
what are y'all having pizza parties?
Right. Because it
What we
can't
doing?
go to unclaimed funds because they don't know
Right?
who.
Uh-huh. Where the money? Where my money?
Right. They don't know who paid it. Like, that's crazy to think of though. Um, where is where's all that money going? This is
Because that's
what,
not in here.
yeah.
They're
This
not
is
telling us what.
counting. This is what over a billion
Say that again.
total. So like counting, this is over a billion from
Mm-hmm.
22 to 2025
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
of money that, if in the within the next 7 years nobody says anything,
They're just gonna,
well, peace party.
you know, yeah,
Just
pizza party
or whatever. Like
or some sort of, you know what I mean? Like
so very
what
interesting. Like
happens
where
with
does
this?
that money go?
Because did you say billion?
You say what?
You said billion. There's a
Yeah,
billions of
like
dollars.
counting it up. Yeah, it looks like
Mm-hmm.
it's about a billion
Yeah.
with all 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
okay,
you know, yeah.
348. Yeah, it'll be 1.2 bill for the 20, just that's just 22 to 25 of like if nobody identifies
It
themselves and
identifies it.
says
Yeah.
and whatever, it's gonna be that's what that is. That's crazy to think about. And then what
Oh, I got
happens?
a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a suggestion. Why don't you take those funds? right?
Put it on my
If they were
student
not going to
loans.
be claimed anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and apply them to do a lottery, right? Or do something.
What do
We
you
have,
mean by do a lottery?
when I say that, you have funds, you don't know where they go. You're going to take them off the general ledger and
Mm-hmm.
do what with this money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. Now, I don't know if you give it you have a time frame to where this cannot be done. Yes, we take it off the general ledger, but it sits. There are people that owe balances. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying, people are paying taxes anyway, right? This is tax
Mm-hmm.
money. Do a lottery, divvy it up. There are people who, if you're gonna,
Oh, and just
so
like
instead of you taking the money, apply it.
apply it to everyone's balance.
Maybe apply it across the board.
Just apply $10
Well,
each person allowance.
even if it's that, I don't care, right?
Ah, that's a
Because
good
you've
way.
got billions of dollars. Apply it across the board for that tax year. This
Mm.
is the reserve amount. We have an inventory. It is the 10-year mark has passed or whatever the mark is. These funds have not been claimed. We are applying them across the board for anyone who owed in that year. For the balances that are owed, this is how
Hmm.
much everybody gets.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at it necessarily but then it's also like, I'm also thinking it from like a taxpayer. Like, what if I was the one who, oh no, but that
But
it
I
wouldn't be, it
just
still
gave
wouldn't
like
be an
a,
issue. It still wouldn't be an issue. Because I'm like thinking of like, what if Susie Q, I don't remember, Jane Smith comes
yeah,
back on year 8, right? Like
yeah,
Jane Doe comes back year 8 and she was like, "Oh no, but I paid the $25,000." They're gonna have to but if they're taking off the general ledger, they're gonna have to get rid of the money anyway. So they still
right.
have to come up with the money of that 25,000. I'm sure they
Exactly.
have reserves or retained earnings or
Exactly.
something that they can. Yeah, so it'll be fine. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I
agree.
heard.
Yeah, everybody get $10 that
You know what I
why
mean?
not?
I don't care.
Why the hell not?
Why y'all holding on to it? This is our money.
That's so funny.
It is.
I like wonder where where that money
Where's
goes.
that money going?
Yeah. Where does that money go?
Because that's not in here.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't
Where does
they're
it
not telling us where that goes after
yeah.
you remove it from the
Where
ledger.
does it go? Right. Because what? Yeah, where does that money go? Oh
I'm
gosh. Yeah.
just
That's a
saying, y'all put
great.
that report out because all you're telling us is that the results ultimately were that, the program that resolves billions, they get to
Yeah.
billions too,
So I
of
was
dollars
like,
in unidentified taxpayer payments need to be improved and modernized. Okay, we
right.
all could have told you that. I mean, we still got to fax stuff in for Christ's sake, which is not a problem for me. I think that I actually like the fact that we have to fax. I do, I do, I do, because then I know this is old school. And these
I
days, with all the amount of fraud going on,
that,
fax
but
is
like
going to
they
you.
need to make the upload tools and stuff a lot better
Uh-huh.
for the IRS because I prefer the upload
To
tools.
you.
I do.
You know, I still like printing stuff out.
I know.
I'm the one that's writing
You
checks.
know, old school.
That's me. I'm still writing checks.
I'm not writing a check unless I have to. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even know if the kids know how to write checks these days.
I
They
don't
know
think
what a
so.
check.
Remember they used to teach you that in school?
Yes.
They used to be like, what goes on this line? You got to write it out.
Right, exactly. You gotta
900
right.
and yeah, I'm still old school. I still want to print, I'm still printing out tax papers and I'm like, send it to me. Let me print it out. I got to spread it out across the table. These multiple screens driving me crazy, but
Oh my
I get
gosh,
it.
that's so funny. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
I like their upload tools. It's just that they're not as advanced with it yet.
Yeah.
But I do prefer it. And then I also find that at least when I fax things, it's slower in time.
Okay.
And then some of them are a little like, oh well, if it hasn't come within the next 15 minutes, we might have to drop. And I'm like, you know how long I
I've been
waited
on
to
the
get
phone.
this
I've been
call
on hold.
for
Exactly.
hours. want to
Lady,
drop
you
because
ain't
of
going
a
nowhere.
technicality. That's not. I'm telling you, I faxed. It's not
It's facts. Wait, you know how this works.
like what?
I've been waiting, and all you're gonna do is get on the phone with somebody else. Wait, I have been on hold. Yeah, I feel you. Oh, that drives me
It
crazy.
would be crazy. So I don't really prefer the fax, but I'll do it still. Yes. But I do like their like
You
upload.
like
They
the
have like an
upload tool.
IRS upload tool, and then they have like a tax pro upload tool for like the 8821s and 2848s.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that everything is backed up. So the CAF unit is backed up. So like I would have to call anyway and still
Oh, you
fax.
still have to fax it in. Yep.
Yeah,
See? Right,
which
yeah.
is annoying. And
Mm,
then I hate it too because when I fax it, the clients have to have a wet signature. So online,
that's
they
right.
will
That's true.
accept an electronic signature.
Electronic signature.
But if it's fax, it has to be wet.
That's
So having
true.
to explain to the client, hey, oh, what do you mean by wet? So it needs to be a handwritten signature where you actually, do
Exactly.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Darn. Yeah, that's true. That's
so
true.
that's what I prefer.
So, well, I mean, they're trying to modernize
No,
their
they are.
systems, which I think is a gift and a curse, as is all
Everything.
progress and all
Everything.
change, a gift and a curse, because with that then comes, new issues that you have to
Yeah.
try to
Security, all
safeguard
that.
yourself from and all of that. So, tis what it
Yeah.
is. But
It
I
is.
think final thoughts for me, where the money at? Where is I need to know where the money goes after they take it off the general ledger.
That's so interesting. I'm gonna
That's
ask some
what I want to
questions
know.
to
Where
see
the
if I
money
can
at?
find out.
Yeah, if I'm gonna ask, I know a couple of ex-agents. I'm gonna ask them, when y'all take y'all money out, when y'all take the money out of the general,
Yeah,
you know
I
where
think
it
it
goes.
depends. Some of the departments don't talk to each other. So like, you know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna try to
But
run
maybe
into
they can
somebody who
check.
can get me an answer to that
Yeah,
question.
I'm gonna ask some questions to see if I can find that out and report back because
Yeah, yeah, because I want to know.
I
I'm
want to know
curious.
too.
I'm curious. Ain't
And
I
then
on a
I
piece of
guess
what?
my final thought is you have to like I cannot I cannot stress this enough. Like y'all have to know where your money's going. This is like if you have your
Yeah,
bookkeeping and all of that in order, you'll see that $25,000 is come out of your account,
yeah,
and then that also now that you check your IRS account to make sure that it's applied because it's
yeah,
not enough for it to just come out of your account.
yeah, yeah,
It's not just like it has to be on the other side. You have to check and to keep your records, keep that check, the copy of it
yeah,
the time when it actually came out. If you
yeah,
wrote a check, keep that check, the
yeah,
copy of it when you mailed it, when you sent it into, if you went to the physical, get that receipt,
yeah,
and have that documentation with the IRS. So if it ever happens to be a situation where the IRS comes years later and say, oh, we never received that payment, you can say, yes, you did. And
mm-hmm,
I have the proof.
mm-hmm,
Like you have to be on top of your stuff because it's a government entity. Like just one people make
yeah,
mistakes,
yeah,
right? Government entities make mistakes. It's just what it is. Not
yeah.
every single thing, just because the IRS says that you owe something doesn't mean that you owe it.
That you necessarily owe it either. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like question and ask more things. So I implore people to make sure that they have their records and things done. There's been multiple times where I had to check some companies when I was going to housing, when I was in school at my university, they were like, "Oh yeah, I still owe X, Y, and Z for my housing payment." And I said, "No, I don't. y'all need to go. I said, "Y'all need to go ahead." And I provided them with the receipts. This is my payment on this date, this date, this date. Please update your system. Um, and that's it. And
Yeah,
same thing with the IRS. Like anybody, AT and
anybody,
T, Comcast, check your bills.
they can make mistakes. That's
They can
true.
make mistakes or they're adding something. Oh, you only got one TV. Why are they charging you for four? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's
Yeah.
the same thing with the IRS. I'm saying all that to say, like, make sure that you have your documentation, your paperwork in order, and you can provide it and
And you
have it
can,
and put it in a safe place. I would prefer electronically into a folder that you can get access to easily.
yeah.
So,
Um, and I would add again, I do have these 6 tips for choosing your, your tax preparer, your tax professional. I would argue, you guys, that your tax professional be on your team. Okay.
yeah,
You
yeah.
need a teammate because it is the tax professional. I mean, I get it. You don't want to talk about taxes. I get it. But the tax professional, you see us, we having a good time talking about it because something's something's a little off, right? But I say that to say it is a good tax professional, is a tax professional that cares about you, that's going to say, hey, when you send, hold on, before you send that payment, you need to do X, Y, and Z. They're going
Yeah,
to tell you that because they care or they know what could go wrong. They're going to say, you know what I mean? So you want that professional to care about what you have going on because they're there to safeguard you because they know what the things that can go wrong. I also know what you need to have, you know what I mean?
right,
Or they're going to say to you, you owe the balance. Did you make the payment we talked about?
right,
Did you
right. I
do
thought
what
you,
we,
yeah, like,
you
where's
know,
that? Yeah.
did you do it? Some of us may have reminders. I know if I know the type of client that you are, I may put a reminder in my phone, call so and so back in about 3 weeks to find out if she did or he did what you told them to do. I mean, honestly, because
Yeah.
only because that's a personal thing that I might do, but you want
Mhm.
that, I would argue that you want that level of care. So I say that to say I do have a download for you guys that you can download. It's just tips that can help you with it has questions that you can ask the tax professional to decide on whether or not you want to move forward with them, yes or no. So it's helpful, like just pick somebody that is a good fit for you. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah. So anything else you want to add, Karina? Nope, that's
Nope,
it.
that's it.
Well, that is Financial Fraud Friday. I would argue this is a little fraud because where the money? No, let me stop. This is our time for Financial Fraud Fridays today, you guys. We are here every other Friday. I encourage you if you want to reach out to us, that you send us an email, info@topinassociates.com. You can reach out to Karina at contact at Kate, correct, right?
Yeah,
Contact at
yeah.
katefinancial.com. Follow us at our social media handles, which are here. Um, and if you have any questions or any information that you'd like to add, or if you've made a payment and you're trying to figure out where your money is, go ahead and leave a comment below. Leave a comment for us. And if there's any way that we can assist you, please reach out to either of us. Okay. All
Please.
right. You guys, thank you for listening in and thank you so much. And have a great day.
Bye.